Welcome to the state of PA football. PaFootballNews.com's weekly look at high school football from around the state of Pennsylvania. From Philly to Erie, Scranton to Pittsburgh, Johnstown to St. Mary's, York to Bradford, and all areas in between. Whether you're a Bulldog, a Lion, Crusader, Eagle, or Millionaire, host Billy Splain has got you covered. Thanks to our sponsor, the Funding Zone. He'll be traveling the state bringing a guest host and a friend or two. There's just one question. Are you ready for some football?
And now, your host, Billy Splain.
We're live.
How you doing, everybody?
What's up?
How you doing? What's going on?
Hey, not much. What's going on with you?
Just
Hey,
a Wednesday night Hershey.
I see Coach Cal out there. What's going on, Coach? Joe Gillaway. There's Dan. Yeah, we're going to blame Pro Time, but let's get on with the show, guys. First of all, I want to thank everybody for just tuning into our show this year. It's been a great year. We're only 15 minutes behind, but we can do this. So it's a wonderful year, guys. Don't you think?
It's been quick.
It has been quick.
I know. I don't want it to end.
Right?
No.
Last year I was exhausted. This year, hey, let's just keep playing football. But I wish we could do that, but we can't do that, unfortunately. So we're just going to keep hammering away here on our show, and we're going to start. Let's just get right into it, guys. Let's talk about this first game that we have tomorrow at 1:00.
I think this is going to be one of the more competitive games of the weekend. Red Bank Valley and Bishop Guilfoyle. I've got to watch Bishop Guilfoyle now for 2 weeks in a row. And they beat Juniata Valley, and then last weekend they beat Canton to make it to Hershey. Two games where the other team made a couple bad mistakes for the BG to pull it out, but BG's still one of those teams that they're going to fight, and they're really good.
Yeah, I think so too. This is probably the most intriguing game of the weekend. Red Bank Valley, and it's like the Cinderella story.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They came out. We had them ranked early.
Yeah, we did.
And they lost to Keystone in
very first week.
And I called Coach Gold and I said, "Hey, what's going on here?" But they got the ship righted. We actually went out and did a show with Red Bank. And that was a fun time too. We actually did two, but only one of them counted because maybe that's what it is. It's the Red Bank James.
Maybe it could be.
Yeah, because we had technical difficulties with Red Bank too. Yeah, Red Bank is a great story. They're the Cinderella story. Red Bank Valley Bulldogs. They're the small town factory, just kind of a grinder town, and here they are.
I think they have a peanut butter festival up there once a year.
Nice. Peanut butter festival.
Yeah. Red Bank is in New Bethlehem for people who don't know, which is about an hour northeast of Pittsburgh.
Okay. Yeah, but looking at Red Bank Valley, we were talking about that first game that they lost. They let up 3 defensive touchdowns. Mm-hmm. They didn't score an offensive touchdown, and ever since they've been rolling. So, here they are in Hershey. The first District 9 team since what, 92?
92. First District 9 team since 92. So
yeah,
they got to be a Cinderella. They got to be, other than the Bishop Guilfoyle fans, probably most people would be rooting for them, I would think.
And speaking of 92, the team before that in 90 that came from District 9 was Keystone, the team that beat Red Bank this year.
That's right. Jeremy McCool was the quarterback. Yep.
Yeah, interesting. Looking at their roster, both teams look very comparable.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Bishop Guilfoyle. Phil, I know you saw Red Bank and Bishop Guilfoyle.
I've seen them both, right?
And you've seen Bishop Guilfoyle. Very comparable size-wise on the line and stuff. Mm-hmm. Joe Mansfield, defensive end for Red Bank, he's probably one of the top players in District 9.
Yeah, he could be a difference maker. He's not a real weight-wise a big kid, 6'2", 192. but he's very quick. He leads Red Bank in tackles for loss, sacks, that sort of thing. And he could be a difference maker on the defense for Red Bank.
For sure. And Colby Barrett is a good football player too, left guard. Colby does a great job of helping protect Bryson Bain, who's going to have a really solid day tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw them against Northern Bedford, and they seemed to like to run a little bit more. Of course, that was a snow field, so they didn't pass a whole lot. But I think they're going to have to mix it up a little bit because I think Guilfoyle was waiting for Canton to run, and Canton still moved the ball. Yeah. But Guilfoyle had that peg. They mix it up. I think they could be trouble for Guilfoyle.
Yeah, they did a nice job. For Bishop Guilfoyle, they're kind of like that team like Steel High was last year, where they've kind of escaped the last two games to get to Hershey. They've escaped. I know an unusual situation happened against Juniata Valley. I don't know if you folks out there, the punter, when Juniata Valley had a lead late in the fourth quarter, it was very late in the fourth quarter. They needed like 5 yards. The punter kicked the ball. The wind blew it right back behind the line of scrimmage. Landed. The punter fielded the ball, and he didn't know what to do with it, so he just stood there, and the referees blew it dead. Had he just gone to the left a little bit for a couple of yards, Juniata Valley may be right here.
Yeah, he would have got the first down. I remember no one even on the sideline was screaming, and Phil and I went to Canton the next week, and the guys up top were like, yeah, that kid up in the box, they were yelling, run the ball. So
yeah, it was unusual. It was crazy. But, credit to Bishop Guilfoyle and Justin Wheeler. They were down in the first half against Juniata Valley, and Justin Wheeler lit into them and found the fire and got them rolling. And then last week, I guess, again, Canton, it was the same thing.
Yeah, against Canton, it was interesting. They ran a interesting hook and ladder play there. Whenever they got a turnover on downs, Canton fumbled it. BG recovered it at the 15, and then a couple of plays later scored to put the game away. So, but looking at this Bishop Guilfoyle team, the biggest name to look at, honestly, is Carson Keisweiter. He does the most for the BG offense. They like to run the ball a lot, and they rely on him heavily. And then on the defense side of the ball, the number one defensive end, Anthony Safari, he's a very good athlete.
Yeah, I like Cooper Rother. Cooper Rother is another. He's another really good athlete for them. He does a good, solid job up front. And one thing we do have to remember is tomorrow we have to go say hi to Ian Bennett. He's been writing for us all year.
Yes.
And none of us have gone to see him at the Bishop Guilfoyle games. So he's one of our interns, and we do internships at PaFootballNews.com. If any of you high schoolers out there are interested in an internship, get a hold of us through PaFootballNews.com, through our Twitter, and through our Facebook page. But yeah, Connor Keisweiter, he's a really, really nice athlete.
Yeah,
he does a good job of leading the offense and making plays.
Yeah, he's good. Against Canton, he had a big game.
He was very elusive. Canton had him a few times, and he was able to get away and get positive gains. I just wanted to note too before we move on, running back the last couple weeks for Red Bank Valley, Brendan Boo, B-O-O Schreckengoss. He is 5'3", 135 pounds, and he has scored the game-winning touchdown each of the last 2 weeks.
Wow,
that's an amazing stat.
Phil. He's also one of the top tacklers, I believe, on their defense.
And another feather in the cap for Bishop Guilfoyle is, I believe one of the best in the state, if not one of the best in the country. They have a great kicker in Devin Wyatt who can.
Yeah, he is very good.
He can hit the ball deep. He can put it through the uprights.
He struggled a little bit last week. It was a windy game, so he struggled a little bit last week. But yeah, he's very good.
He's a very good kicker. And for Red, when you were talking about Schreckengast, it's amazing because they don't have a gigantic line, but they have a good size line. You look at them, Barrett 260, Carson Rupp 245, Minnick 274, Klinger 256. That's a single A school.
Yeah.
That's big a single A school, big kids, big line, and that's going to be interesting. Guys, what are your thoughts on the game tomorrow? I know, and if you want to go to PaFootballNews.com, we are previewing every single team. and for Hershey weekend. But what are your thoughts on this game, Tristan?
You know, honestly, watching Bishop Guilfoyle the past 2 weeks, I said this to you guys a couple times. You know, they got lucky twice. If they get lucky a third time, they'll win. But I'm leaning towards more Red Bank for tomorrow.
Pro time, who'd you pick?
I picked Red Bank. I usually don't go with my heart, but this week they're in my opinion, even though Bishop Guilfoyle has 4 losses, they played a lot of 2A schools, and all 4 of their losses were the 2A schools. And Red Bank, I mean, the first time ever, this is the first sports team of any sport from Red Bank to make it this far. And I kind of leaning towards them, but I picked them to win 20-17. And I think the key is mixing it up, running and being able to pass too.
What do you think, Ed?
I think it's going to be close. I mean, not seeing either team play. Heard the Guilfoyle Canton game on the radio last weekend because I couldn't make it out. But I give the slight edge to Guilfoyle just because of the experience factor. They've been there before. They know what to expect. So, I mean, kudos to Red Bank Valley for making it, but I think Guilfoyle just edges them out.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, like experience, when you come to Hershey, you can, or you know, when you get to any state championship game for the first time, it can overwhelm you.
Just a whole nother element.
You know. My opinion on this game is I'm going to play the guy on ESPN who has to stay neutral because he's calling all the games. So I'm staying neutral on this game and all the games. However, I will say this. For Red Bank to win, I believe Red Bank has to do what they do best, and that's play hard-nosed, backwoods, woodshed football, and just bang the heck out of Guilfoyle. For Guilfoyle to win, you hit the nail on the head. Teeswaiter, he's got to have a good game. He's got to get elusive. He's got to be loose, and he's got to get away. If he doesn't, and he can't find out now, I think his name is Jafari, the receiver. He actually had the interception to beat Juniata Valley.
Yeah, number 7.
He's a good athlete too.
Yeah.
So. And you know, Schick, well, I mean, like they always have one of those on the team, but their athletes have to play better football than the clubbers.
Yeah.
In order for them to win this game.
I agree.
So, but like Ed said, I think the experience factor is going to be a big deal for them tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big deal.
Hey, Billy, one more thing too. I think these are 2 of the. Now I realize the Red Bank Coach Gold's a little younger, but they've made some in-game adjustments that allowed them to adjust, especially in the playoffs. And I think Justin Wheeler, of course, is one of the better single-A coaches around. So it might come down to coaching and who can make those changes during the game or at halftime.
Yeah, I agree. Changes are going to be huge. So that's our look at the Bishop Guilfoyle and Red Bank Valley Single A Championship tomorrow, 1 o'clock, Hershey Park Arena. Hey, if you can't come to the game, change your mind and come to the game. All right?
I like that.
You know, there's nothing better than live football. I get it. People want to watch on TV, but if you're able to come to Hershey and watch your team. Don't use an excuse to watch it on TV or online, okay? Come down and watch a football game and support your team. So that's our 1A game breakdown. We're going to come back after a couple commercials. We're going to bring a special guest up here, Joe Gilloway from Linglestown Gazette Sports, and we are going to talk about a 4A matchup that's going to be smash mouth crazy. So we'll be right back after these messages from one of our sponsors.
Kick It, a kicking and punting coaching service, is thrilled to be sponsoring 2 of the premier football all-star games in the country, the Big 33 game and the PA East-West All-Star game. Kick It provides individual and group specialist coaching sessions. The program is open to novice and experienced players. At Kick It, we focus on the fundamentals to improve accuracy and proper technique to add distance to your field goals, kickoffs, and punts. We go beyond the kicking session as we will supervise your off-season training programs to build mass, explosive power, and flexibility. In season, we can provide you practice schedules, evaluate your game film, and coach you virtually to enhance your performance. To bring your game full circle, we offer a recruiting service for our specialists through Be the Best Recruiting Services. For more information, take some time to visit our website at kickitjz.com.
From the land of the free, the home of the brave, underwear's made in the USA. We'll never take a knee, we will always stand. We don't use sweatshirts from foreign lands. Support our troops every day. Wearing the American-made underwear. By far, American strong we are. Underwear.
I would recommend becoming an official because you can feel like you're a part of a sport that you love.
We officiate for the athletes and for the sport that we love, and so as long as you keep them first, then it's going to be a great experience.
So the money I've made from officiating for the past few years, I've put all that money into savings to pay to finish my college education. In 6 months, when I complete that, I will not be in any debt.
Officiating the state championship and getting that call to officiate the state championship was an emotional thing for me, just because of what I've been through, you know, the ups and downs, and getting that call really meant a lot to me. Sometimes I see student athletes that I officiated years and years ago, and they say, "Man, you did a great job. Thanks for everything you've done."
Yep, there's a little blue triangle on your screen right there. Sorry about the audio issues. It says Linglestown Gazette Sports, LG Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Gilloway.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me, Billy.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And Joe Gilloway, we brought him in, and I've done a couple shows with Joe now this year. We did one a few weeks back, and then we started the season off with the Coach's Cookout show.
Hopefully that'll be the first of more to come.
Well, we definitely need to make that big.
Yeah, that was fun.
We need we really need to make that big.
Yep.
And we had a good time. For those of you who don't know or might have missed it, we invited a whole boatload of coaches down to Harrisburg here, and this wonderful park. What was the name of that park, Joe? Yeah, it was a park. Anyway,
it's at the
and it was
Brightville
hot,
Park,
and we had like 10 coaches. We did interviews all day long.
It was more. It's like
20,
16.
There was 100 coaches there. Yeah, there was just a lot of coaches, and we had a good time, and it was great. We're going to do it again next year. We're going to work on some things to make it bigger and better.
Yep.
And anyway, Joe, you're a District 3 guy, and there's a team from District 3, and I saw you put out a stat about District 3 teams. Was it you that put that out today?
That was actually a Mid-Penn Conference stat.
Yeah, Mid-Penn.
Yeah, only 6 schools have ever been represented in state championship games.
You think about all the great schools that have, all the great football teams that have come out of the Mid-Penn.
6 of 1. I'm sorry. Yeah, 6 of 1.
Yeah, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have a District 3 though, Bishop McDevitt and Aliquippa. It's gonna be a battle.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a battle tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I know me and you were talking a little bit earlier. You know, Bishop McDevitt had that slow start. They had, they played a really good 6A LaSalle team first game, and then ever since then they've been on a roll.
I talked to McDevitt coach Jeff Wechter last night, and I kind of felt like after they lost that game, it was 21-0.
Yeah,
and you and I discussed it. It could have been worse than
it
that, but so what? It was 21-0. And Coach Wechter was glad his team had the opportunity to lose that game.
It gives him confidence.
Yeah, I could just tell that was the gist of one of the topics that we were discussing, how he got the team to this point. And he said right out of the gate, he said it helped his freshman quarterback, Stone Saunders, grow up immediately. I said, how long did it take till Saunders wasn't a freshman anymore? He said right out of the gate.
Yeah.
The first game of the season took that freshman label off of him. You know, on paper, certainly he still won, but he said that was it. That's all it took.
Yeah, I mean, he got hit a lot that game.
Yeah, he did.
And, it was rough for him. I mean, but, LaSalle didn't have their 2 best players, but, I mean, it was still a good game. But looking at the rest of the McDevitt offense, you got a couple big names here.
Mario Easterly is one of them.
Yes, Mario, and then also the running back, Marquise Williams. Williams.
Marquise Williams. Yep.
You know, we got some big names, and also Rico Scott. You know, I watched Rico. Rico had a few catches the first game that I was at, but not too many.
Oh, what's interesting is Marquise Williams has over 1,600 yards rushing,
Mm-hmm.
but Sincere Bowers is 13 yards shy of 1,000 himself.
Wow.
So they very easily could end up with 2,000-yard rushers. And then on the receiving end, Easterly has 945 yards receiving on 53 catches. Foster 34 for 846, and then Rico Scott 23 for 522.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 receivers with 500 plus yards. That's
Yeah, and on top of that, Saunders has 42 touchdown passes, only 5 interceptions.
4 and 43.
Yeah,
43 and 4. Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah, this is
especially
kind of
the
a
freshman.
greatest show on turf high school version.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, and then, we were talking about the Aliquippa line. Proton really wants to meet Tyrese Jones. Aliquippa, defensive and offensive lineman, 6'7", 340 pounds. Probably the biggest human I'll ever see in my life.
That is a very large man. Yeah. Aliquippa, every year, there's controversy, of course, with the transfers and stuff like that, and they're a single A school with 47 kids on their roster. And they have 5 seniors this year?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
5 seniors this year.
Yeah.
So
wow.
It's an amazing, and they're a single A school. Now, I know that the PIAA, we're going to kind of go away from the game for a couple seconds here, but I know the PIAA today was talking about classifications. Aliquippa is a single A school that decided they wanted to play 3A football because they wanted to play to the size of their opponents because they were a good team, they're a big team.
Mm-hmm.
So then a couple of years ago, they got bumped up because of the success factor / transfer rule. And then 2 more years later, they got bumped up again because the success factor and the transfer rules again. This year, they face another bump to 5A. They would like the PIAA to say, okay, you're a 1A school.
Enough's enough.
Enough's enough.
Yeah.
They would like to see that. So that's where that stands right now. The PIAA today announced that they're going to hold off on reclassifying a lot of schools, or all the schools, which they do every other year, because a lot of schools have found a loophole, and that is they don't count their VOTEC students.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, apparently, the word got out that loophole exists, and a whole boatload of schools said, "Oh, we're not going to count our VOTEC schools or VOTEC kids." Well, it came back, and the PIAA had to say, "You know what? We can't release classifications today. We've got to take a look at this and study it." So, where I'm going with this is they may also look at the Aliquippa situation while they're doing this, because that kind of is a loophole. I would like to see teams be able to go down without the transfers, not worried about it. If
like Jersey Shore. Instead of playing 4A, they could play 3A.
Yeah, if they're not, well, no, right now they should play 4A because they're a 4A school.
Yeah.
But let's say you're a 4A school that hasn't won a game in 3 years.
Okay.
Kind of like what Indiana does. So anyway,
I think it's worth mentioning. Let's close out with this: the threat that Aliquippa made, Coach Mike Warfield, and then some member of the administration, I don't know what, somebody above him, said that they would be willing to pull out of the PIAA and play what's called an independent schedule.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I don't think anybody would like to see that happen.
I mean, honestly, I think
Aliquippa.
Aliquippa could compete at 5A. That's my honestly opinion. But you look at this.
We'll have to trade. I think your mic's off. Can you turn it off?
Did you unplug yourself, Phil?
Here, you might have turned it off. Anyway, you turned it off. There.
Yeah, you turned your mic off. But don't play with your cords, fine. All right.
But
don't play with the cord. But you look at Aliquippa.
Yeah.
Look at these guys. Jason McBride, 6'4", 300 pounds. He's a junior.
Mm-hmm.
He's back next year. You got Nico Eberhardt, 6'2", 285. He's a junior. He's back next year.
Yeah.
They've got the guys that come in and out that I think they could compete at 5A.
We talk about a lot of the offensive line, how big they are, and that's just one of the reasons why their freshman running back, 5'9", 170, Taquay Hayes, is so good. He got an offer from Penn State, and he's probably one of the best freshman running backs in the state.
1,600 yards, 20 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Right.
He's a freshman,
Yeah.
and he's not just a freshman. He's a freshman with size. I mean,
Yes.
he's 5'7", 150. I was kidding about the. I'm sorry,
5'9",
170. So he's heading towards being that guy that will have good size.
Yeah, he's really good. Also, they have a really good receiver in Sierra Clark. He's their leading receiver for the Quips, and then their quarterback is really good too. He's only a junior, so he'll be returning as well.
And Aliquippa has a kicker this year, Emmanuel Manti.
Actually, that kicker qualified for my weekly highlights at least 5 times this year.
Okay.
So I was like, I had to look at it twice because the coach was sending it in, and I'm like, this is Aliquippa. And then I asked Mike Warfield about that. I did ask him about that. I think it was week 9 I asked him about it. And he said, yeah, Billy, he said, we got tired of getting beat by a point.
Mm-hmm.
And that's happened to him at Hines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's happened. Tyrone beat him a couple times, I think, because of that.
So he said we went out and found a kicker.
State College would not have made it to the state semifinals without a kicker.
You're right.
Exactly. Yes.
He was my player of the game. I was at that game. And
the State
I don't
College-
really
yeah.
actually have a player of the game, but
Yeah.
if I
And-
did, it would have been him.
And he was the backup kicker, which was the best part. Number 95.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he kicked 3 field goals that
3
game.
for 3.
3 for 3
Yeah.
as a backup.
Wow.
37, 33, and
35.
none of them real short.
No.
It was a great game.
Yeah.
So they lost to Harrisburg by 2 and beat them by 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean,
And,
It was a
and
great game,
this
though.
game here, like to me, Aliquippa is a smash mouth football team, but they also they're skilled.
Yeah.
So they've got it on both sides. McDevitt will run right at you, but they have Stone who can throw the ball. So this is going to be a really good game. I think tomorrow's games are lining up to be two of the best games.
Yeah.
What I was talking about a little bit earlier in our conversation, the quarterback is a freshman. He's coming into this environment for the first time in Hershey. I said if he gets rattled early, the game's over. Aliquippa wins. But I mean, if he stays consistent and plays good football, I think Bishop McDevitt has a real good chance. But I think they have more playmakers.
Well, you and I discussed earlier that he didn't get rattled at all against LaSalle College.
No.
I understand that was a home game.
Yeah.
Friendly crowd, but it was still a big game.
Yeah.
You're playing could be the top 5 team in the whole state, any classification. They came in, they were playing some tough defense, LaSalle College, and he stood up. He actually had a pretty good game.
Yeah, but it's like we said, it's just one of those things that I think if he gets rattled, I think the Quips will take it.
Since he's gotten rattled in the first game, 55-7, 75-7, 63-0, 66-7, 56-0, 63-0, 56-14, 49-0, 62-0, 35-7. Lampeter Strasburg
7-0.
7-0, 28-21.
And that's taking their foot off the gas in the second half.
Yeah.
Okay, it really is, because I follow this team. There could be a lot of 80s, literally 80s, because they get up anywhere between 42 and 49, maybe even 56 to nothing or to 7 in the first half. Then they score one more touchdown.
Yeah, and then they put
So
this is what we're in for. So Aliquippa 39-25 against a very good Beaver Falls team.
Yeah.
And then they lost to Central Valley, who is playing here Saturday, which there's nothing wrong with that.
pound
right?
for pound, one of the top teams in the
Yeah.
if that's what
Easily
you want
in
to call
the
it.
last 5 years.
And let me point out too, that's the least amount of points Central Valley scored all year was against
That's correct.
Aliquippa.
And then listen to this: 56-0, 62-0, 35-7, 48-13, 49-0, 42-14, 63-6, 36-0. We're in for a whale of a game tomorrow night, I think.
So many athletes on the field.
I can't believe I'm actually saying this together, but Aliquippa has an offense.
Yeah.
Usually, when they're scoring 20, 23 points and they're just shutting people out.
Mm-hmm.
And this Aliquippa team is not.
Well, this McDevitt team is not like the Middletown team that Aliquippa
They're
just
not even like any of
hammered a few years ago.
They're not even like any of the Jeff Wechter teams that didn't win the championships.
I talked to Coach Wechter last night just for a little bit, 10 or 15 minutes, and I tried to get him to make some comparisons. And, you know, he loves all.
We've struggled all year, and we're going to work on this in the off season. There's just something between the camera and the program that we use
that just makes
it just shuts off our audio. But
You
we're
don't
going to keep
panic.
going.
You
So
just
anyway,
stay cool, and we got back in. Yeah,
we're back in. Yeah, I'll get better at fixing it live. So anyway, yeah, we've reached the end of that segment. Tristan, thoughts on the game?
Thoughts on the game? Like I said a little bit before, if Bishop McDevitt's quarterback stays strong and plays a good game and gets the ball out and they have a good running game, I think they can pull out the victory over Aliquippa. But if he gets shaked and rattled at the beginning, I think it's going to be a bad game for the Crusaders.
And I'm leaning to Aliquippa. Pro time picked Aliquippa. I just think with the size of their line and beating on McDevitt the whole game, they have a good young coach. Warfield is an excellent coach, and again, make adjustments like the first game. Weckner's been around, so whoever, I think it may come down again to coaching. Whoever can make the right adjustments and get the strength on a weakness may win. I'm leaning to Aliquippa.
What do you think, Joe?
Well, all right. You asked me this 2 years ago, and I picked Central Dauphin just because that's my home school, and I really didn't mean that, Billy. I know it's 2 years late, but I apologize.
Before we go any
they lost
farther,
by 3 or 4 touchdowns to
I want to let everybody out there know that the man sitting next to me is responsible for the name of this show. Thanks, Joe Gilloway, for giving us the name. It was a total accident, but he's responsible for the name.
Thank you.
So continue on.
I think McDevitt wins a close game, and I don't know a whole lot as much as you guys do about Aliquippa. For some reason, I just can't imagine McDevitt losing this game. The stars are kind of lined up. No more Erie Cathedral prep. They're up at 5A. No more Imhotep. They're up at 5A. And I can't get out of my head that this Aliquippa team, enrollment-wise, is a 1A school. But as Billy said, they have like 47 guys in the roster. So throw that 1A out the window, right?
That's right.
Just throw that out the window. I think McDevitt is just balanced. They're really strong, both sides of the ball. Coach Wechter likes this as one of his best defensive teams in 23 years. And I just think they find a way to get it done. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be a close game.
All right, here's my opinion. Aliquippa is pissed off right now. They're pissed off at the PIAA for trying to make them move up to 5A. They want to prove everything to the world. That being said, Bishop McDevitt is kind of like, they're like the Cadillac. They just kind of cruise around the field. Aliquippa is kind of like the Jeep that just plows through everything. You know?
Yeah, it's going to come down. I think it's going to
come down to the team that makes the fewest mistakes tomorrow.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's what it's going to come down to. That's my belief. McDevitt's going to have to watch out for the big plays. The other thing that Aliquippa does really good is defensive scoring
and special teams.
They
have a kick return and punt return the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
that's they're going to have to play position football at McDevitt, and Aliquippa is going to have to find a way to slow down the running game, and they're going to have to get pressure on Stone. That's all there is to it.
As I told you
this
guys
game
earlier,
could go either way.
I'll make this quick. I know we got to move on.
That's all right.
I went from the opening night of the season. I predicted that McDevitt would win after they got their butts handed to them by LaSalle College. I texted Coach Ford Chapman. I said, I just watched the game. They got their butts kicked, but I still think they're going to win the state championship. This was 3 months ago, and I'm just going to stick with it.
Joe did say that.
I did. I got it on my phone.
He said that at the coach's cookout. He said it's going to be McDevitt. So those are your picks by these three. Again, I'm neutral. I'm not going to go anywhere else with that. But, hey, That's day one. Thanks, Joe Gilloway, for being here.
That was fun, guys. Yeah,
I appreciate Joe for being there.
Yeah, thank you.
That's day one tomorrow, starting at 1 o'clock. Bishop Guilfoyle versus Red Bank Valley, and then the big boys come to battle, and that's McDevitt and Aliquippa.
Okay, I don't want to trip on the air.
Yeah, don't
here.
trip on those.
No, that wouldn't be good.
Hey, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to hear from some of our friends. I think we have Vapor Trail lined up and the story tour. And then we're going to talk about Friday's games, guys. So we'll be right back after a few messages.
When you step out on that field, everyone is equal. Talent, it means nothing. They may be more talented than you, but if you show more heart, if you show more focus, if you just decide this day that you will never accept second place to anyone, if you do that, if you all do that, there's no one we cannot defeat, and there's no one that will want to challenge us ever again. So do you want to go out there like every other player, like every other team, or do you want to stand up this day to make this day count? Make it count.
I was a drug addict, a loser, and a thief, but 18 years ago, God set me free and gave me a hope and a future.
Bound and Favored Ministries presents The Story Tour, a one-night event for the addicted, hurting, and struggling, featuring the testimony of ex-drug addict Alan Scott, God stories from across the country, and the music of Alan Scott Band.
Hi, my name is Travis. I was a drug addict.
My name is Sarah, and in 2016, I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, and I was already obese.
My name is Brenna, and I was addicted to heroin, and so depressed that I was so sure that that would be my life forever.
But because of Jesus.
Because of Jesus.
My story isn't over.
My story isn't over.
My story is far from over.
Join us for an incredible night that will encourage you to believe that God can heal any hurt, move any mountain, and restore any situation. The Story Tour.
God is bigger than whatever you're facing, and if He was willing to move in the life of this ex-drug addict, there's no mountain He won't move.
How you doing? We're live, and they can still hear us.
And I'm back.
And Ed's back. Joe Gilloway's gone. Joe Gilloway, Lingostown Gazette Sports. There used to be with the Lingostown Gazette, and now it's Joe Gilloway owns the Lingostown Gazette Sports, or runs it, or whatever he does with it. But yeah. Joe and I get along really well. Joe's a great guy, and he does a great job. Check out Lingostown Gazette Sports on Facebook. If you like basketball, you won't find better coverage of Mid-Penn basketball anywhere.
Yes, good.
Than Joe Gilloway.
This Friday, everything
Nobody
starts up.
covers basketball down here like Lingostown Gazette Sports. And Joe does a great job, and he's got some great sponsors. And we got another football game to talk about, gentlemen. Southern Columbia has won 372,643 or 4 state championships in a row or something like that.
Just a couple. Just a couple.
So
Now, how many is this in a row? 3? They've won 3 in a row, and this would be 4, right?
Yeah.
No, they won 4 in a row.
They won
This will be
4.
5.
This will be 5.
Yeah, they're going for 5.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Bring them in. That's all right. Well,
Thank you.
you know who we haven't thanked yet?
Primanti Brothers.
Man, I can't believe we didn't do that. Primanti Brothers in Hershey. We have not thanked Primanti.
Phil,
Good job, Phil.
Phil's fired. Pro Time just spilled water all over our show.
Oh,
Hey, we have to have some levity here.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Phones
But
don't work.
You know,
Water's
you know
not
what's
up-
amazing
I know, right?
is
hey, it didn't get my papers wet.
so here we
Oh,
are.
thank God.
We're on Chocolate Ave.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
We're-
West Chocolate.
And we're at Primanti Brothers in Hershey. Want to thank Primanti's for having us here.
Yes.
I hope to have a long relationship with Primanti Brothers someday. And it's just awesome to be able to be here. I want to thank Gary, the general manager, for being here. We had a great time. And we're having a great time. And I got to thank Dan Reed, Dan the man.
Dan the man.
Behind the camera. He's the reason that the sound keeps going off. That's just kidding. You like how he took the blame away from you, Phil?
I like it. I like how you segued into that.
Yeah, right into it. Yeah. Let me wipe my phone off here. Somebody spilled water on it. But anyway, Southern Columbia, get back to Southern Columbia. Jim Roth, what a career, winning as coach in the state of Pennsylvania history.
Talk about the senior class, too. For
The
Southern
senior
Columbia.
class
Amazing.
has
Track and
not
field
won-
gold, football gold, everything.
They have not lost many games in many sports at Southern Columbia.
No.
It's amazing. And, a couple of weeks ago, people were joking about this Garcia kid that they have there, this Gavin Garcia. They were like, yeah, you'll never catch your brother for touchdowns.
He's close.
So what did he do? He rattled off like 20 touchdowns in 3 games.
Yeah. He scored 6 against Richland. I thought a game Richland would win.
Yeah.
That was in the first half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people that said Richland was going to win that game.
Yeah.
And,
wrong.
we all
Me
follow
too.
this stuff on Twitter, and kaboom, Southern Columbia just took off like a rocket that day.
Yeah.
And even his brother, there is another Garcia. Sorry, folks, there is. And then there's another one.
There's 2 more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have another one coming. So, like, the Garcias in Southern Columbia, who knows? Maybe they won't be, what are your thoughts? I think Jim Roth, this might be his last year, I think. That's my thoughts.
I don't know. I couldn't say yes or no.
I think he still goes on. He has 470 wins. He's actually in the top 10, maybe the top 5 or 6 in the country in active coaching victories. That's a long
Crazy.
time. Hey, and a quick story about them. He told me one time Southern Columbia had lost 20-some games in a row when he was an assistant coach, right when he became an assistant coach.
Started, yeah.
They won a Thursday night game. The board was thinking of dropping football and going to soccer.
It was that close.
That close. They won a Thursday night game. The school board and everybody was so happy they gave the kids off a Friday. This is Southern Columbia. The dynasty that they are now was that close from dropping football and picking
They
up
used
soccer.
to be worse
Yep.
than the Columbia Montour Votech football team. They were like I'm from that area.
Wait.
From Berwick.
Oh yeah, hey,
Gotta
yeah,
mention-
yeah.
you gotta
Mark
shout
off
that
your
out.
I'm from Berwick.
Mark off your Berwick
right.
bingo card. It's the first mention of it today.
So anyway, I can remember all that, and like people like they would just say like, why does Southern Columbia play football? And now people are going, why does Southern Columbia play football?
Yes. But this game tomorrow,
it's Friday.
Oh, it's Friday. Sorry, Friday. Well, this game Friday is probably going to be, in my opinion, the snore game of the weekend. I think
No
Southern Columbia
offense,
wins
Sarah
by
Catholic.
20.
No offense, Sarah Catholic.
That's my opinion. Southern Columbia wins by 20 plus.
Well, let me say this about
20 plus.
Sarah Catholic. Max Rocco, their quarterback, has thrown for almost 2,000 yards, 25 touchdowns.
And Terrell Booth and Farrell Fisher are phenomenal athletes. Farrell Fisher actually started 4 years ago. He played for Imani Christian on that team that went undefeated.
Right. And Terrell Booth, Javon Campbell, Holt, and Farrell Fisher are 3 of the wide receivers. Booth and Campbell have 82 receptions and 1,500 yards between
Hey, look at this. Look at this. Hey, Red Bank fans. Woohoo! to Hershey guys. Have fun. Enjoy the game tomorrow, and good luck to Red Bank Valley. We enjoy covering Red Bank Valley. Coach Gold, great guy, and it's a fun time tomorrow. It is. Are you going to Chocolate World?
We're gonna keep going. You gotta go to Chocolate.
You gotta go to Chocolate World.
Maybe tomorrow.
Way down.
Yeah, you're still.
All right. We better that way?
All right.
I'm just too loud. And I've been told that all my life. And again, we apologize. This is just crazy. Thanks, Funding Zone, for being a sponsor all year. I'm going to say that right off the bat. Sarah Catholic. I mean, you. And I apologize. I'm embarrassed by it, but it is what it is. We're just going to power through. Sarah Catholic, good year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, should we not be talking like this about Sarah Catholic? Because
I don't know.
It's just
they force a lot of turnovers. Phil has the stat for the turnovers.
Listen to this turnover stat.
Sarah Catholic has forced 54 turnovers in 15 games. That is almost 4 turnovers a game. And they have returned 11 of those 54 turnovers for touchdowns.
Wow. If that was a stat that was kept, and I don't think it was, it's got to be a record.
I would think.
I don't think turnovers by a team was a stat that was kept, but
It's gonna be a battle for Sierra Catholic tomorrow. Southern Columbia is really good. I watched them play against Wyomissing this year. Wyomissing got up early and beat them up and just didn't take their foot off the gas. But ever since then, Southern Columbia has only let up. I think at max 14 points per game.
I mean, everybody says it all the time, and some people were saying it this year. This is the end of the run for Southern, but I'll tell you what.
Garcia is just that good.
I mean, how do you stop Gavin Garcia?
Right.
It's hard. Wyomissing did it. I guess Wyomissing he had 1 touchdown and they had a kick return, and that's all he did throughout the game. So
they were
banged up. They were missing some guys.
Yeah.
Right. And
we got another red bank. Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Hey, throw that over here. I want that.
He wants it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Look at this. I got a new bib.
There you go.
I gotta wear this the whole show. I got a new bib.
There we go.
Yeah, look at that. How's that look?
Hey, it looks fine.
Yeah,
looks good.
Yeah, let's go. Hey, I feel like I'm a Red Lobster.
Yeah,
Red Lobster.
So anyway, Sarah Catholic, Southern Columbia, Ed.
I mean, to quote the great Ric Flair, to be the man, you have to beat the man. And, if you want to talk anything about, hey, we've been there before. I mean, that's Southern Columbia. I mean, give them the edge, just right there. And, the thing that Sarah can't do is fall behind the 8 ball early.
Yeah.
That's what has happened to every team that Southern has played this year, except for Wyomissing.
And Wyoming area.
However,
those are 2 really good teams.
Right, yeah.
Those are 3A schools.
And that was, right within those couple weeks there where Southern was kind of banged up.
They were very banged up.
Now they've been on the warpath.
And they were missing some guys.
Yeah. So
they lost that record.
Yep.
So now,
yeah.
To break the record, they got to get a state championship.
Wisławski's back on the lineup.
Yep.
Yeah.
They got.
He was missing for those 2 games.
Was he?
They had just lost their quarterback.
Yep.
And they've lost their quarterback for the year. They're using a backup quarterback.
Yep.
Okay.
But at Southern Columbia, you just give the ball to a Garcia.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So
pretty much.
But
watch us all be wrong and Sarah.
There were
40 tomorrow.
There were 4 guys on this list that were missing during the Wyomissing and Wyoming area games.
Yep.
So they're back and they're playing football.
They're back. They're healthy.
Phil, what did Pro Time pick?
Pro Time has Southern Columbia winning by a couple touchdowns. I think it was 42-28. I did want to mention Sarah Catholic, Ryan Brooks on defense. He leads that defense. He has almost 100 tackles. 28 of them are tackled for losses, and he has 15 sacks. Not that Southern Columbia passes much, but he's a key on that defense. And for them to have any chance, they're going to have to find a way to contain Garcia.
Yep.
Yeah, they threw the ball 2 times against Wyomissing. down that much. So it's a struggle, but like I said, I think Southern Columbia wins by 20 plus.
It's going to be a track meet, and then he'll throw this other line out there: Death, taxes, Southern Columbia.
Hershey state championships.
That's all I
think Sarah Catholic is going to have to do what they've done all year. If that's forced turnovers,
Yeah.
If they can do that and keep the ball. Yeah. If they can do that and keep the ball out of the hands of the Southern Columbia offense, they could have a chance.
Yeah.
They could have a chance.
I think with their offense, they're going to move the ball. I think they score at least a couple times on Southern.
Oh, they'll score.
But I don't know if
the
they can
problem
keep
is,
up with them, right?
yeah, every other time they score, Southern Columbia will score twice.
Right.
And they just have play contained football. But anyway, that's the Southern Columbia Sarah Catholic matchup with a lot of breaks in between.
You want to take it right into the next game?
So I think, yeah, let's go to Coach Calm.
Okay.
All right, they deserve it, and a Vapor Trail commercial, and we'll come back and we'll talk about that big 5A game after these messages.
CoachCom is the proven and trusted leader in coaching communications. For over 30 years, we've built our business on innovation and winning, with the goal to equip your team with the best coaching communication available. 97% of all FBS programs and thousands of high schools and colleges across the U.S. choose CoachCom because CoachCom has the experience and the know-how to provide the very best in technology and winning solutions.
There are two things in life that you can't outrun: taxes and death. Everything else you can outrun if you're fast enough. You can teach speed.
Dan Reed is back there and he's threatening us. Every time we go to commercial, he threatens us. Dan, one of these days.
No, but let's talk about.
Hey, listen, before we go there.
Oh, okay.
Did anybody read the Guy and Pam Travels story?
Yeah, I read that yesterday afternoon.
I was not able to.
You did not read it yet. Oh my gosh.
that's another
Guy and
demerit
Pam,
for
listen, out there, Guy and Pam, approached me before the season and he said he had an idea. I didn't even know who the guy was. And he approaches me and he says, hey, I'd like to do a kind of a thing this year. I want to see, my wife and I, we're not affiliated with any District 11 schools. We just want to see how many games we can go to and how many stadiums we can see. They're like this iconic of District 11. So they start doing this and they do a blog every week. They saw almost every stadium in District 11 this year. They were too short. Two stadiums short. They're going to be here this weekend, so
Nice.
we're going to get to meet them.
Okay.
So
That's
that's
cool.
going to be awesome, and we're all going to go over. We're going to get our picture taken with Guy and Pam. But this weekend, they did a synopsis of all the food that they've eaten, and they did an all and what was the all first team concession stand.
Yeah.
They did the best fries. They did the best non-potato fry.
Best soup.
Best burger. Best cylindrical hot dog.
Bunch of different categories that you don't really think about it. So
Best
it's like,
dessert,
okay. Yeah.
best barbecue, and the grand champion was the concession stand at Shenandoah Valley. The grand. I thought that was just like a wonderful. They're going to do a story about Hershey this week, and then they're going to do a recap of their year.
Nice.
And what kind of thing they. So we have two more stories coming from Guy and Pam. But what a wonderful feature that was.
I'll have to read that when
It
I
was pretty interesting.
My favorite column of the year. I've known you guys for a while, but they were phenomenal.
So if you're a District 11 fan, you need to go to Shenandoah Valley's concession stand.
Yeah,
I guess so.
absolutely.
I'll have to America Game
Put them on the schedule.
There's a lot of there's a lot of great concession stands out there. I personally, my favorite was Sealands Grove. They had the food that you never see at a concession stand. They had clam chowder, beef. I mean, they had a BLT.
Ooh,
they had BLTs.
Holidays burgers.
And it was the first place I ever saw a walking taco.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
a long time ago. Anyway, speaking of walking tacos, this game has nothing to do with tacos.
Nice transition.
No, but this is going to be a good.
Do you know tacos were invented in Berwick?
When Governor Mifflin was on their run, we were all saying that nobody's going to beat Governor Mifflin.
I think I said it every day. Every time I was on the show, I
And
said
then
Governor Mifflin's going to Hershey. Governor Mifflin's going to
Exeter
Hershey.
goes out and beats Governor Mifflin.
And they biggest upset of the year.
They kicked their
Besides Southern and
ass.
Wyoming?
Yeah,
they kicked their ass.
Oh yeah, they did.
So then we're just like, we're looking at our rankings and we're like, okay, well then Imhotep is the king because they were right there all year long too.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Penn Trafford goes out and destroys the team that destroyed the team that we all anointed the king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got to see that game.
Yeah, it was
so,
bad.
So on Friday night, 7 o'clock, Imhotep Panthers, Penn Trafford Warriors are going to face off.
You mean Imhotep versus Cade Yasamali? In a way?
No, I don't.
No?
No,
Okay.
I don't. Penn Trafford has a team.
Okay.
They've got some athletes. I got to see that Exeter game, and I'll tell you what, I was impressed with quite a few people. Declan Ochendowski was on our show when we were out there with AJ. He was on our show. Big dude. Joe Enoch was on our show. Cade Giacomelli was on our show. And the quarterback was on our show. We pretended Carter Green was their head coach because John Ronnie couldn't make it. But going back, listen, Penn Trafford can play football. I mean, they opened up the game. The Otto kid takes the ball 75 yards down to the 5-yard line. Giacomelli goes in. Couple of plays later, Exeter scores, and then Giacomelli shuts the door.
Wow.
And 75-yard touchdown. He had 2 interceptions. He had 3 touchdowns. I mean, the kid. You're right. In a way, it's the Giacomelli show. However, excuse me, Carter Green has over 2,400 yards of total offense. He's a dual threat kid.
Mm-hmm.
He can run with the ball and he can take off. And I saw him do what Kenny Pickett did.
The fake slide?
Fake slide.
It was almost a fake slide. He took off and he kind of did this juke thing, and it looked like a fake slide.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay.
I think he gained like 25 yards out of it. But
I think
Liam Heilman on defense, he's a really good cover guy. Carter Green also plays defense. Seth Dunlop, number 3. Seth Dunlop. Look for that number on the field on Friday night because he really impressed me. He did a lot of things very well. Mm-hmm. And he shut down. He shut down a Penn State recruit.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a good game. Imhotep. And whenever you look at this defense, you got Keon Wiley and Anae White. Anae White is the number 1 defensive end probably in the country, and it's just Imhotep defense. I think is just going to shut down.
White hasn't committed yet either.
He hasn't, not yet.
He's got his pick.
But then Keon Wiley is committed to Penn State, and he's really good too. We saw him in the spring.
Yeah. I asked after that game, I said, I just said, just between me and you, have you decided? I didn't ask where you're going. I just said, have you decided? And he said, no.
Okay.
He had, as of last week, he didn't know where he was going. He said he has some idea, but, you're right. Look at, Eni White, Maurice Beverly, Talik Burton, Ramir Stewart, Jameer Reyes, Rashawn White, Kenny Wosley, Trey McLeod, all have Division I offers.
And didn't McLeod run for like 300 yards against Cathedral Prep?
294 yards.
Yeah.
And 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
Damn.
Breakout game.
Yeah.
He's like a bull.
Yeah.
But he runs
small.
like a giraffe.
He's pretty small too. He's only 5'9", 190. I mean, he's he's not small, but he's a little.
He's a little bull. That's what he looks like, and he runs with conviction.
He's fast too.
Okay.
Faster than you'd think he would be.
Okay.
Yeah, he's deceptively fast. But let's talk about that Imhotep defense.
That's shut down.
That front 4. They were all over the backfield against Cathedral Prep, and it wasn't even. They weren't even blitzing.
No.
They were just running forward and getting back there. Keon Wiley was a sack machine. I think he had like 5 tackles for loss and 4 sacks.
Wow.
Right.
I mean, even just that spring game, the spring inter-squad scrimmage that we saw him that week down in, Philly. I mean, he was in the backfield almost every play. So, I mean, it's just that speed off the edge.
Oh,
I saw him against West Catholic. And he had a heck of a game against West Catholic, too.
Yeah, he's an amazing athlete. Penn State got a steal on this kid, or maybe not, Keon Wiley is an amazing athlete. What the biggest difference I've seen so far in Imhotep compared to what we saw in the spring, guys, is the quarterback play.
Mm-hmm.
I think the quarterback play is a lot better than it was in the spring.
Yeah, the quarterback actually went to Bloomsburg that played in the spring.
Yeah,
he went to Bloomsburg, and now the quarterback. Yeah, he's a good.
He's playing good football. He doesn't have to throw the ball a lot because he's got a line in front of him that is a giant line. I mean, like you look at this size. 6'4", 334, 6'2", 315, 6'1", 310, 6'4", 290, 6'5", 240. High school.
340.
Or 340. High school.
That's the biggest high school. I've seen lines average over 300, but that's the biggest offensive line in high school I've seen.
And Emir Stinnett is another one. He's committed. He's another big recruit for Imhotep. They play. Their offense, I don't think, is a lighted-up offense. You look at their scores, and they're deceptive because if you follow Imhotep, and I try to follow them as much as I can, they're not ripping away from people. Those are game-long scores, 12, 21. And the thing I noticed about Imhotep is, and this could come back to bite them because Penn Trafford has a field goal kicker, but Imhotep does not have a field goal kicker. And how many times, guys, over the years have we seen if you don't have a field goal kicker, you're in trouble?
Well, that's what won the single A championship 2 years ago back in 2009. That Guilfoyle was in last second field goal. So,
ladies and gentlemen, the greatest guy in the world has just walked into the building. And we're not going to tell you who he is.
You have to come here and find out.
You got to come down and find out. You got to come see it. But anyway, yeah, I mean, like, they struggled against Central Catholic to start the year, 12-6. And I saw that game, and then you look at their scores against DeMatha, who did not tear it up this year. They lost. They beat DeMatha 14-10. So credit is a big win for that. That was a big win for them. And then the South College went out and beat them, much like the South College. McDevitt, St. Joe's, and Imhotep in the beginning of the season. Yeah,
That's why I personally had LaSalle as my 6-18.
Their scores aren't big. They beat Northeast 14-0, 44, 42.
But they've turned it on in the playoffs. I mean, you start looking at the spread. Once they got to playoffs, 44-0, 42-7, 42-7, 36-0. So
it's looking like their offense is
now they're turning it up.
Right.
That's what I think too. I think that their offense has turned it up, but when you got the guys like Stinnett, Gray, and Wooten out in front of you, if you're Penn Trafford, how do you penetrate that? You're a coach, Ed.
I was. Oh man, I was an offensive coach though. So
well, then you're no good to us. Anyway, so here's how they do it. All right, Conley Green and Joe Enoch are two very good linemen for Penn Trafford, and if you look at the size of these guys, 240, 280, 245. They're not huge, but those are the kind of guys that can get between those 300-pounders.
Yeah.
Just because you're 300 pounds doesn't mean you're fast and you're agile. Sure. I have seen chinks in the Imhotep armor. And if you can be aggressive enough with them, but stay position football, because they've got those two speedsters that can, if they hit the outside, you're done. Yep. But they can do it.
Yeah. It's going to be a good game.
I think so. Jacob Otto, they're not going to throw the ball against Penn Trafford. I'll say that right now.
No.
Cat, you do not want to throw the ball anywhere where Cade Yakimelli can get to it.
Yeah.
Otto is another one. Otto, and Carter Green, they can intercept the ball, and they do. I think they had 4 interceptions against Exeter. That they five.
Sounds
five.
right. Yeah.
It was 5 because there were 6 turnovers. So they got to play position ball, but I think the key to this game is going to be Nate Schlesinger, the kicker for Penn Trafford. Okay. He's good from 45.
Wow.
Yeah, he's got 8 field goals this year. Awesome. So I think he's one of their top scorers too.
Yeah, in my opinion, Imhotep wins a close one, a defensive battle, most likely.
Pro time, who'd you pick?
I got Imhotep. I think it was 26-13. Nobody has scored more than 13 points on Imhotep, and it's one team scored 10 and one team scored 13. Everybody else that scored on them only scored 1 touchdown.
Probably the best defense in the state among all classes.
Yes,
Imhotep.
Yeah, I think it's close. I think Imhotep just has the advantage speed-wise. I think they just wear them out.
I think so too. But I do not say that Penn Trafford doesn't have a chance, because seeing both teams play, I think Penn Trafford has a chance.
Well, and the one other thing too we talked about in the Guilfoyle Red Bank game is the experience.
Yeah.
Imhotep's been there quite a few times, especially recently. Penn Trafford first time, so we'll see what happens.
What do we have? 3 first-timers, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Imhotep and
Penn Trafford,
Mount Lebanon, Penn Trafford, and Red Bank.
Yeah.
All Western teams, all new teams. So that's our synopsis of the Imhotep Penn Trafford game. We're going to take a commercial break, and we actually made it through a whole team.
Go us.
Yeah, go us.
1 day left.
Boom.
One
Yeah.
day left.
Hey, let's hear from Vapor Trail and the PIAA and see what they have to say about.
I would recommend becoming an official because you can feel like you're a part of a sport that you love.
We officiate for the athletes and for the sport that we love, and so as long as you keep them first, then it's going to be a great experience.
So the money I've made from officiating for the past few years, I've put all that money into savings to pay to finish my college education. In 6 months, when I complete that, I will not be in any debt.
Officiating the state championship and getting that call to officiate the state championship was an emotional thing for me, just because of what I've been through, you know, the ups and downs, and getting that call really meant a lot to me. Sometimes I see student athletes that I officiated years and years ago, and they say, "Man, you did a great job. Thanks for everything you've done."
Don't talk too loud.
Yeah, be quiet.
Yeah, don't yell.
Library voices.
I think we figured it out. Dan, I think I was right a long time ago. It's when we yell and when we get loud. Anyway, hey, it's our Hershey preview show. We're here at Primanti Brothers in Chocolate Avenue.
Awesome place.
Probably. If you've never been to this is one of the nicer Primantis I've been to. I like this place.
Honestly, probably some of the best wings I've had in a long time too.
This is the nicest Primanti I've been to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all had wings, and they gave us like a trough of French fries, like
too big.
That was a trough.
But we did it.
We finished them.
We almost.
I mean, Tristan took about like 5 handfuls home in his to-go box.
We didn't. Yeah, we didn't eat the cold ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them, they were sitting there so long they got cold, so we didn't eat them. But hey, we made it to the last day. Saturday at noon. We got another game, and it's a rematch. It's the only rematch of the year.
I also think that this is my game of the whole weekend. This being a rematch, seeing why I'm missing this year beat Southern Columbia.
Yeah.
They're coming for blood, especially in a rematch like this. But Central Valley is very good, especially the defense. Probably one of the best stats I've seen all year. Sean Fitzsimmons has 99 total tackles and 21 total sacks.
Wow.
Yeah, he has 21 sacks in
That's
I think
crazy.
14 or 15 games.
Yeah, they're 14-0.
Yeah, so
What about
14
Jamin Thompson in the Hines game?
He has 11 interceptions, I believe. It's on the.
Four
I
of
put
them-
a stat.
Four of them were at Hines.
Yeah. Yeah, I put a stat on for the Central Valley. I'm pretty sure he has 11 interceptions on the year.
And folks, just in case you're wondering, you're watching this game, you can also go to PaFootballNews.com. We are previewing every single team and talking about what they need to do in Hershey and how they got there. So we already released the 1A
The
teams
single-
and
yeah, the
4A
1 and
teams.
4.
Tomorrow morning, the 2 and the 5A teams get released, and then Friday morning we'll release the final games, and you can check them out there. Central Valley, their defense, dude.
Yeah, we talked about their defense, but we missed out one of their biggest parts. Landon Alexander, 2,000-yard rusher and 28 touchdowns in the year. Really good running back. He did really good last year, and he's a beast.
I've been collecting great names, and another great name, but he's also a great player. Is Jack Bible. Jack
okay.
Bible
Nice. Yeah.
Jack Bible. Love the name, but great linebacker, and can catch the ball when they need him to. But boy, I'll tell you what, Aiden Mack.
Yes. And Javon Williams against Southern Columbia, I saw him pancake one kid, let him get up, and pancake him again. It was a battle, and this Y missing team, like I said, they're coming for blood, and they've been tearing it up. Amory Thompson is really good. They're probably one of the best athletes on the Y missing team. So
Yeah, and then you got to look at that offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Mack, big dude. Preston, big dude.
Yeah.
Javen Williams.
Javen Williams.
Giant.
Yeah, very good. Very good
6'4", 310.
Division I recruit.
Agile, can run down guys.
Mm-hmm.
He can run downfield and block. He's fast. He's one of the fastest big men I've seen.
Yeah, he's very good.
All right.
He's very good. Y missing comes at you. They come at you with that wing T, baby.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 and they run it well. They do, maybe that's the key. Run the wing T. Southern Columbia is here. They run that wing T.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Y
sure. I saw a stat last week or 2 weeks ago when they beat Boiling Springs. They threw the ball one time in the entire game. It was on a 2-point conversion.
Who are they? The New England Patriots?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, so for this game, it's a rematch from last year, but I think last year Central Valley had the guys.
Yep.
I think this year it looks like Wyoming has the guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
Wyoming is playing with them on a mission.
Yeah, they are exactly.
They
Yeah.
are.
And offensively, Central Valley, they lost Muir Dudley and Miles Walker, probably two of the best kids in PA last year.
Yeah.
So, and like we've been saying, this YMS team is just, they're really good. They score a lot of points every game, and they don't let up a lot either.
Yeah.
So
Well, they've scored under 40 points twice.
Okay.
All right. Once against Middletown, which I don't.
14-0.
Yeah,
What happened?
yeah, you
That
got
was just-
14-0, and
That was a weird night. But wasn't that a weather night though?
I don't
know.
Yeah, Dan Simmons.
And Scranton Prep held them to 35.
Yeah.
Which I mean is it's impressive.
And what they do? What they do this year?
When
They ended the streak.
Southern Columbia.
Yeah, they did
They
end the
ended
streak.
the streak.
I was at that game, and that was probably one of the best atmospheres I've been to, and it was wild.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
It was a wild night.
Boyertown held them to 35 as well this year.
But
They
yeah,
won 35-7.
against Southern Columbia, they just got up early and kept going, and I think that's what they got to do tomorrow, or Saturday. I mean, Saturday they got to get up early and just keep going and don't let up, because Central Valley can score. They've shown it all year. They can score a lot of points, but YMS just has to keep their foot on the gas pedal, and I think they'll do okay.
Yeah, they got to keep keep the ball away from Alexander too.
In my opinion, though, Wyoming's on this tear, but I still think Central Valley finds a way just because their defense is so good.
And Central Valley can brag about something. They beat Aliquippa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they beat Aliquippa.
Yeah. So,
and
you know,
that's the least amount of points they've scored, as we pointed out. 21-12.
Yeah. So, I mean, you look at their scores: 56, 69, 42, 44, 43, 47, 48, 51, 52 at Hines against North Catholic.
Yeah, that was a big game.
Wow.
And that was North Catholic's only loss.
Javen Thompson,
4 interceptions and 2 touchdowns.
He shut down that offense. Shut him down all by himself, basically.
I'm excited to hear what Phil's stats.
Landon Alexander basically ended a historic run by the Central Dragons.
Yeah, 98 yards.
And Jeff Owen seemed to get down to they're on a 2-yard line. Fourth down, big stop. Landon Alexander takes the ball in the next play and he's gone. 98 yards. That's the kind of player Landon Alexander is and what he brings to this Central team. You've got to stop him if you want to win this game. If you're Wyoming.
And then on the other side, the Central Valley team has to stop Amory Thompson. So Amory Thompson's really good.
Tommy Grabowski, too.
Yes.
Grabowski, yep.
I think the X factor in this game might even be Sean Fitzsimmons. I mean, he's a man among boys on defense. He's going to the University of Pitt scholarship. He's going to be a load to deal with for Wyoming's offense.
He was all over the backfield at the Whitfield game. Mm-hmm. I mean, just like I watched the Whitfield game at Hines. They could not North Catholic could not keep him out of their backfield. Every time that quarterback was turned around, Fitzsimmons was on his tail or on his entire body. I think he had 5 sacks that game. I'm not sure, but I think he had 5 sacks. I know he had at least 5 hurries.
Wow, that's impressive.
You know, I mean, the guy was back there the whole time.
That's awesome.
And then, like, he can drop into coverage.
Yeah, he can. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see where Pitt plays him whenever he goes.
So, one guy we haven't really talked about yet during this game is Matt Merritt. Matt Merritt is a player, too.
He is
one of the best defenders in Whitfield.
He's a Division I athlete,
and he can catch.
Yeah, yeah. He's playing. He was supposed to play quarterback a lot this year, but I think he got replaced by. Let me see here. I forget who it was. I was reading
Antoine Johnson.
Antoine Johnson, yes, he got replaced by Antoine Johnson. Matt Merritt was supposed to replace Amir Dudley, but then it didn't happen. So, but I think he's doing great. So,
you know, Mark Lyons figured it out. He figured out where his guys need to be, and he just does a great job. Now, Wyoming is led by one of the legends in Pennsylvania. A legend that doesn't wear
gloves.
That's old school football right there.
Bob Wolfram wears socks
instead of gloves. Yeah, I've seen a few pictures of it. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. And I've known this about Bob for years, and I've always thought it must work.
Maybe it's a good luck charm.
Yeah.
I mean, like maybe one of us should ask him about that on Saturday. You know.
Wipe his face.
So he can wipe his nose.
Interesting.
Dan knows the secret. You talked to Bob Wolfram that you did that game. That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the question has been answered as to why Bob Wolfram wears socks. Because he can wipe his nose with his socks and not get his gloves dirty.
That's, okay.
There you go.
All right. Hey.
I buy it.
If it works, it works, right?
I buy it.
He won't be wearing socks Saturday, though.
No, he won't be. 66 degrees.
Yeah. I'm going to bust out the shorts.
A couple of showers in the area, they said. You know, I can deal with that. I see a Saquon Barkley jersey over there on a young man. The great place. As a matter of fact, when we were here earlier, when we got here to set up, the owner or the general manager, I'm sorry, Gary, took me back to a post back in the back of this Primanti's, and they've got a signed jersey from when Jake Stebbins played high school football from the Big 33.
Nice.
He saw my Big 33 duffel bag, and he said, "Come here, I want to show you something."
That's cool.
So he's got a Big 33 jersey back there, and I think that's just awesome. But Ed, Central Valley, why am I missing?
I think it's close. Again, this is one of the games that I really want to watch outside of the 1A game. I think Wyomissing takes it this year.
Pro time, who'd you pick?
I have Central Valley. I think they're just a little too good. Wyomissing, I think in order to beat them, you have to have an offense like Central had, where they mix it up and maybe throw a little bit. But we'll see.
Yeah, I have Central Valley in a close one. Probably a touchdown difference.
And I stay neutral as always. For Central Valley, they've got to get Landon Alexander and Matt Merritt involved in the offense, and they need to move the ball. Jack Bible is a very important part of the puzzle. Wyomissing has to stop that puzzle, and they have to figure out a way to keep Fitzsimmons out of the backfield. Mm-hmm. They've got to find a way. The only thing I'll say about this game in Fitzsimmons is this isn't a team that drops back and passes. So the fact that they run the wing tee at Wyomissing could hold Fitzsimmons back a little bit and hold him in control if they run it the way they usually do. So they could take him out. I don't think he was a factor in the game last year too much. He had a couple tackles, but I don't think he was a huge factor in the game last year because they're not throwing the ball. And it's all that misdirection and misception. Yeah. So I think those are the two keys for me. I'm excited for this game.
It's my game of the weekend.
It's going to be a big game. We got one more game to talk about, guys.
One more to go.
One more.
It's a big one. But we're not going to talk about it right now. We're going to take a break. We're going to hear from some more sponsors. Like one of our best sponsors is the Funding Zone, our official website. Go to fundingzone.com. Check them out. If you're a high school athletic program and you need to raise money real fast, they can do it for you. Check it out. We'll be right back.
Kick It, a kicking and punting coaching service, is thrilled to be sponsoring two of the premier football all-star games in the country, the Big 33 game and the PIAA East-West All-Star game. Kick It provides individual and group specialist coaching sessions. The program is open to novice and experienced players. At Kick It, we focus on the fundamentals to improve accuracy and proper technique to add distance to your field goals, kickoffs, and punts. We go beyond the kicking session as we will supervise your off-season training programs to build mass, explosive power, and flexibility. In season, we can provide you practice schedules, evaluate your game film, and coach you virtually to enhance your performance. To bring your game full circle, we offer a recruiting service for our specialists through Be the Best Recruiting Services. For more information, take some time to visit our website at kickitjz.com.
Christ Community Church and C3 Sports and Events Center, partnering with Way Truth Life Radio, presents the Return the Joy concert series. Stars Go Dim are coming on November 7th.
Yes, it does.
Seating is limited, so get your tickets today. For tickets, visit itickets.com.
I would recommend becoming an official because you can feel like you're a part of a sport that you love.
we officiate for the athletes and for the sport that we love. And so as long as you keep them first, then it's going to be a great experience.
So the money I've made from officiating for the past few years, I've put all that money into savings to pay to finish my college education. In 6 months, when I complete that, I will not be in any debt.
Officiating the state championship and getting that call to officiate the state championship was an emotional thing for me, just because of what I've been through, you know, the ups and downs, and getting that call really meant a lot to me. Sometimes I see student athletes that I officiated years and years ago, and they say, "Man, you did a great job. Thanks for everything you've done."
It happens. But,
ladies and gentlemen, the state of PA football from PaFootballNews.com.
we are on our last game of the weekend.
The Hershey preview weekend here live on Chocolate Ave. I mean, how would you love to live on Chocolate Ave?
I think I'd be about 500 pounds.
It would be rough.
I mean, come on, we're here at Primanti Brothers. Want to thank Gary for having us here, and what a beautiful Primanti Brothers this is.
Awesome. It is awesome.
You know,
great food.
What a great season it's been,
awesome,
guys. Yeah. It's just been an incredible. I mean, I was talking to a reporter the other day that I talked to a lot, and last year at this time of the year, I was exhausted. I was just totally done. Hershey was already done. We already had our championships after Thanksgiving.
Yep.
But I was just so done with football because of everything we went through the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
This year, the team that I have, excuse me, the team that PA Football News has, we've got guys down in Philadelphia. We've got guys in District 3, 11. We had 2 great reporters up in District 2. District 9, we got Pro Time up that way sometimes, when he wants to stay home.
Phil holds it down in D9.
He holds it down. We got District 10 covered pretty well. We've got District 7, just the backyard gang.
Oh, my God.
Clobbers it.
Yeah.
Greg Recupero, District 6. We've covered the state. We've covered it well. I mean, we've covered every game the last 2 weeks except for one.
Yeah.
The big upset.
Yep. That was the only game.
It's the only game we haven't covered since the state playoffs have. But, the team that I've put together is just so great, and it makes this so fun again. And I just feel so energized again. I don't want the season to end.
Right.
You know, I mean, like, for me, I'm like, okay, yeah, Saturday we got St. Joe's Prep and Mount Lebanon closing up the show. Let's do the Big 33 next week.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right. And then we'll do the East-West games consecutive, like, so let's spread it out. We can do this. We can have football all year.
Then each
somebody
district takes a week and has an all-star game.
Yeah.
We
That's
need somebody
12
to
weeks.
donate a whole bunch of money
But we
somewhere
gotta do
right in
all
the
summer,
center
though.
of the state, kind of, get together like one of those, like a Spooky Nook, facility, indoor.
We do need an indoor facility.
Oh, man, that'd be great.
Jason or Psychotic was at one a couple of weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it seats 10,500 people. Indoor arena down in Arizona, I think it was, or New
Something like
Mexico.
that, yeah.
One of those really.
He rattled off about 70,000 stadiums last night.
Yeah,
There is nobody in the world that knows more about high school football in the state, in the country of the USA than Psychotic.
He was even telling us about football stuff in Guam.
Yeah, and Guam. Yeah, he's been to football in Guam.
Who knew
Come
Guam
on.
played football?
I didn't even know
seriously.
that.
He knew all the teams and all the nicknames.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it
amazing.
was.
And
was crazy.
And I thought I was doing good. Pro Time's seen a team from each district this year.
It's crazy.
All 12 districts I've seen.
I
a
liked
team.
his. I liked his one comment about he couldn't name all the high school stadiums he's been through, or else he'd get carpal tunnel.
Yeah. Greg's like, yeah, don't do that.
That was.
There we go.
that was
Hey,
it.
Saturday night to close it up. A lot of people said, you know what? This is the year St. Joe's Prep doesn't make it down to Hershey.
I was one of those people that said it.
I was one of those people that thought it.
Yep.
After the first few weeks, I thought it.
Yeah, and then they made a big turnaround and they beat down Garnett Valley last week.
They made a statement last week.
But
They did.
but
I'm going to say this, though, to all
Yeah.
you people out there, because you know what you said. Garnet Valley turned the ball over four times in the first quarter.
In their own zone.
St. Joe's Prep started on the 30 to 36 to 5 to 10 of Garnet Valley.
Yeah,
you are
that's hard
not
to beat a
going to
team.
win. That's how Garnet Valley lost.
Yeah,
they just totally blew up.
Yeah. But I mean,
there's no other reason why they lost. That's it.
On the other side,
I mean, Garnet Valley ripped up some really good teams. Yeah,
they did.
Tell you what, though, on Saturday, though, earlier in the day, Mount Lebanon State College. Let's just talk about Eli Heinrich. Oh, what was it 9 catches?
If that dude had 20 pounds and 2 more inches, he'd be writing his ticket.
Oh, yeah.
And that's nowhere to lie.
He had 9 catches for 200 plus yards and 5 touchdowns.
But I will say this: maybe that ticket doesn't get wrote because he told me the other day. He's wanted to go to the military.
Yeah,
he's committed to Navy.
Good for him.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure.
That's where he's committed, and that's where he's going.
But he's not the only person on this team though that's dominant. You have Alex Texa and the quarterback Joey Daniels.
Joey Daniels.
Ooh, Alex Tedza, another good athlete that plays for Mount Lebanon. Mount Lebanon is a very good football team.
Oh, my
very good football team.
And their offensive line is big. You know, watching that game on Saturday, they could have put what up, Billy? They could have put 70 points.
They could have easily hung 70 on State College.
They let it go. They took out their stars in the fourth, and State College turned in 2 late touchdowns, which made the score closer than it should have been. But it should have been at least 50-some to maybe 14 if they would have put starters.
Look at this stat for Eli Heidenreich. 11 TDs and 444 yards of receiving in 3 games.
Yeah.
Wow. In the last 3 games. In the playoffs.
And 5 of them were last week.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, for the season, he has 53 receptions, over 1,300 yards. A lot of receivers that I've seen haven't even got up to 1,000 yet.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
How many touchdowns?
20 touchdowns.
Okay.
Alex Texa is 4 yards short of 2,000, 23 touchdowns, and Joey Daniels has thrown for almost 2,000 yards and 29 touchdowns.
Shapers.
Yeah, Joey Daniels, I believe, is the only junior out of the 3.
Right.
I believe. No, he's a senior. Nope, he's a senior.
No, he's
so
a
all
senior.
3 of them will be gone. But, you know, watching that Mount
This
Lebanon
is their
game,
year.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it is definitely their year. Mount Lebanon, you know.
Legendary head coach at Mount Lebanon. Legendary. And he's no stranger to Hershey.
No.
So even though Mount Lebanon is, Bob Palco is not a stranger to a state championship game. He can get it done. I think that's to me, we talked about like inexperienced in a state championship game kind of hampering you.
Yeah.
When you have a head coach that's been there, though, I think that changes things.
That changes.
And
I think
he has a good squad underneath.
He's able to talk about it. He's able to say, "Hey, listen, guys. You know," he can say, "Hey, we can do this. We can win this game."
Yeah.
William Harvey, Halter, and Boehner on the line, or I'm sorry, and D on the line. They play a 3-4 defense at Mount Lebanon, and he blitz a lot. I mean, they came with pressure.
Yeah, they did.
They did nonstop after State College.
But like Phil was just talking, a lot of older guys in this team. If you look over on the other side at St. Joseph's Prep, I think Phil, you said 8 guys are returning on offense and defense next year.
Yeah, St. Joe's, according to the starting lineups, they're going to have 8 guys back on offense and defense next year. So that doesn't stand too well for their opponents.
No, it doesn't. And I'll tell you what, when you got a guy by the name of Emilio Eggard coming back.
Yeah. And you even have one of the Trotter brothers.
Trotter's coming back. He's on the 11th grade.
Josiah Trotter.
I saw Emilio compete out in Elite 11 in California this summer, and holy cow!
Yeah, he's undersized.
He is. I mean, he doesn't necessarily have the height, but I mean, he is quick, and you know, he makes up for it with his speed. So.
And they have one of those things that we talked about that's so important to a football team: the kicker, Antonio Chata.
Very good.
One of the best in the state.
All over. He is definitely one of the best field goal kickers in the state. I've talked to Antonio many times, and Antonio can kick the ball.
Yes.
On the other side, though, they got a guy in Noah Buddha who made the Keystone Club every week. Noah Buddha can kick the ball too. So we've got 2 teams with 2 field goal kickers, 2 running backs. But here's the key. For St. Joe's Prep the last couple of weeks, their young quarterback has just taken off. And here's the funny thing is, I don't see Jones starting on their starting lineup. I see Dane Piccarello.
That's interesting.
So that's really interesting. Look at all the points he scored last week.
Yeah.
And I'm told by our guys down in Philadelphia that Dane is actually the better quarterback.
That's interesting. Oh, well, who knows?
Maybe they'll be alternating quarterbacks.
Yeah, maybe.
It would not surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Throw something different at them.
Yeah.
But hey, we made it to the end of the show, guys. So let's start down there. Mount Lebanon and St. Joe's.
I still give the edge just to St. Joe's. Again, I mean, they're almost kind of, the Southern Columbia 6A where, they're there every single year.
8 out of 9.
Yeah. I think it's a lot closer game than what some of their games in Hershey have been the last few years, but I still give that edge to St. Joe's.
All right.
Pro Time went with St. Joe's, and I'll tell you why. That was a coin flip game, but I went back and looked early in the year. One of St. Joe's losses was to Milton, Georgia, by 1 touchdown. Milton, Georgia is a 7A school in Georgia. They are in the state finals in Georgia. That kind of St. Joe's playing them nose.
Yeah, but they don't play as good at football in Georgia as we do.
I did say they played some pretty darn good football down there.
Yeah, that Swift guy went down there for a reason, right?
Yeah, now he's tearing up in the NFL. But
right.
I'm going to be the person that picks Mount Lebanon. I think they're coming off with a lot of confidence. I think they're going to be able to score, and I think they're just going to outdo St. Joseph's Prep.
This may surprise you guys, but I'm going to stay neutral.
The guy from Berwick, staying neutral.
Yep.
I didn't say it at all. I didn't say the word.
You did say the word.
No.
Yeah. Damn it. Yeah. I mean, not as much as the last show that we did. I mean, that was like every other word.
Yes, I know.
The B word.
Yeah, the B word. Speaking of Berwick, congratulations to Carm DeFrancisco. Turned his letter of resignation. He's a great career. Carm DeFrancisco. He made one of his letter here. I talked to him today, and he actually said he was stressed out a couple of weeks ago. He said it was the most welcoming experience of his life coaching at Berwick, and the community was still the Berwick community for Rebecca. He said the support staff that he had, Mike Bennett and Bo Orlando, and Alan Coaching staff that did a great. He said Berwick is back. He does. He said the feeder program's coming up through. He said they're doing really well, but congratulations to Carm DeFrancisco, and what a wonderful career that guy's had. So many big time careers. Anyway, Mount Lebanon, Heidenreich and Texas.
Yes.
Get those two going, and St. Joe's could be in trouble. Joey Daniels is an X factor at quarterback for Mount Lebanon. He can throw the ball when he needs to. He can also run when he needs to. On the other side of the ball, boy, I'll tell you what, it's a tough task to ask him to stop these guys. I mean,
it is.
Piccarello, Blaine Bunch.
I mean, Emilio Agard has Eli.
Emilio Agard is going to be the guy that they're going to have to avoid on defense.
Yeah.
As well as James Hurd is a great football player on the defensive end. He's a very good football player, and he can get the edge. So for St. Joe's to win this game, they have, in my opinion, a very tall task in stopping the Mount Lebanon offense. It's a tall task. But Mount Lebanon's offense or defense has got to stop a St. Joe's offense that, as of late, has come on strong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a great game. I feel it's going to be a very close game, a one-score game.
Yeah.
Whether it's high scoring or low scoring, I feel like
I think it's a shootout. Just that class is just back forth. The last team to score is going to win.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game.
This one isn't going to be over in the first 3 minutes, 5 minutes at state championship games for St.
This is going to be a great weekend.
I think it's going to be a great weekend. I do.
I've been looking forward to this, for the last 5 minutes.
I debate with other people about the rankings, and throughout the year it's like, this class stinks, and that class stinks. Well, here we are in Hershey, I think we have 5 of 6 really
great games.
Good chances of having a great football team.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sarah Catholic, we don't mean to do this, but prove us wrong.
Yeah, prove us wrong.
Yeah. Prove us wrong. Do it.
Well,
yeah, guys, what a great season, man.
Yeah.
Dan Reed, you're the man.
Kudos, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. Want to thank the Funding Zone. The Funding Zone is the official sponsor of PA Football News website. I even have something to read. The Funding Zone is Pennsylvania's best fundraising company for high school football athletic programs and youth organizations. From team discount cards to online donation platforms, cookie dough.
Yeah. Oh, I know. You had me a cookie dough.
Yeah. And everything in between. What's in between cookie dough?
I don't know. Chocolate chips.
Chocolate chips. Good one, Phil. The Funding Zone is simply the best. They're the title sponsor for PaFootballNews.com website, and they are the only fundraising company endorsed by the PA Football Coaches Association. For more information, visit fundingzone.com. I want to thank these guys right here, 417 Helmets. If you need something for your football team as a senior gift, excuse me, I got a dry spot. 417helmets.com. Great little, they're beautiful. The Big 33 helmet and the PA Football News helmet. I want to thank the Funding Zone. I want to thank our friend over at Kick It Jay-Z's. Kick It, they did we had the kicking competition last weekend. Yeah. And so the kickers have, for the Big 33 and the East-West game, have performed. I want to thank Vapor Trail 247. Tommy Hughes, sorry I can't get you in the gates tomorrow, but I had to cut my staff. So I'll talk to Melissa Mercer about that. Underwear, best product in the country, all homemade right here in America. I want to thank the PIAA for doing everything they do. They work hard. I know people like just go after them, but the PIAA, I would not want to be one of those people.
It seemed like they had their work cut out.
You
for
cannot win
this year. So,
got to thank some of our sponsors, Haywoods. Haywoods
great place.
Yeah, in Mill Hall, what a great place. We did a show there twice, and I want to thank Living the Dream Cafe.
Living the Dream Cafe.
Living the Dream. That's the name of it, buddy.
Yes.
That's what it is. I want to thank, of course, Primanti Brothers right here in Hershey. I want to thank Dom's Pizzeria. I did a show out there with AJ. I want to thank C3 Sports, Parma Pizza. Hey, Parma Pizza, we're coming back. I definitely want to come back there. We enjoyed your pizza. Good stuff. Joe Gillaway from Lingletown Gazette Sports was here. I want to thank Joe for being here. I just want to thank everybody for being here. Hey, look, BG fans, Bishop Guilfoyle. Yep, we got Bishop Guilfoyle. I hope they brought me a towel.
Yeah, don't show them
If
that.
they didn't bring me a towel, they can go back to Altoona and get me one.
They're going the other way.
They're going the other way.
Oh, they went the other way. They don't want to hang out, but they knew we were here. So just want to thank everybody. I want to thank my staff. I want to thank the guys in Philadelphia. I want to thank my District 11 guys, Dan Reed and Brian, and everybody,
Hollywood.
You know, I want to thank everybody up in District 10 and District 9. I want to thank all of you. I can't name you all. There's like 90 of you. I want to thank these guys right here, Pro Time. I want to thank Ed for everything he does on this website. Tristan, he's a grinder right here. Tristan Kleinfelder, he's a Penn Valley grad.
Yes.
He doesn't brag about it that much.
I don't brag about it that much.
That's because you didn't win six state championships.
We did not. We did not have. I don't think we won one.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Hey,
that's why.
Who knows?
But just thanks to everybody. We had a great year.
It's been fun, man.
It's been very fun.
Come down to Hershey Park.
Three
Come
more
down to the
days.
stadium.
3 more days.
Come over, hang out
Three
with
more
us at the
days.
park
Come
side.
over and hang out.
Get some
Thursday
bowl of
night.
soup.
Thursday night we'll be at the park side. Get a bowl of soup. This has been the State of PA Football. I'm Billy Swain. For the rest of my crew, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year. We'll see you next spring.
Amen.
Coach.com is the proven and trusted leader in coaching communications. For over 30 years, we've built our business on innovation and winning, with the goal to equip your team with the best coaching communication available. 97% of all FBS programs and thousands of high schools and colleges across the U.S. choose Coach.com because Coach.com has the experience and the know-how to provide the very best in technology and winning solutions.